So, you thought this would be your bog standard Valentine's Day voice pack, the kind where I go on a date with you to a movie theater or hand over some chocolates acting all cutesy and, ooh woo, I'm so shy, please accept my love, senpai. Nah, that really isn't my style. Instead, why don't we go ahead and do something a little more fun, like lecturing you on a subject you never asked for? Wink wink. So, why don't we grab a coffee, some blankets, sit somewhere comfy, because today I'm going to be lecturing you on all the wonders that is the Epstein-Barr virus, or EBV for short. So, what is EBV, and why are we learning about it today? Well, since it's Valentine's Day, there's going to be a lot of saliva swapping, and with that comes the possibility of contracting mononucleosis. And you guessed it, EBV is the virus responsible for causing that. However, mono isn't the only disease that it causes. This tiny little member of the herpes family is also responsible for a number of cancers. Now, how do we get from mono to cancer? That lies in the method the virus uses to infect cells. You see, EBV doesn't just infect skin cells like the herpes simplex cold sores everyone is familiar with. It's capable of infecting B cells as well, the kind of immune cells that create antibodies to fight bacteria and viruses, and I'm sure everybody here has heard all about it due to the current pandemic. The reason why these cells are so important is because once EBV has infected the B cell, it immortalizes them so that it can establish a persistent infection, otherwise known as it sticks around forever. These immortalized B cells can then go on to slowly release virus that infects epithelial cells and so forth. Now, I could go into detail about how exactly the cell becomes immortalized and go on a tirade about EBNA1, EBNA2, LMPs, and EBERs, but I'd like for this to be easily accessible to the general public, and quite frankly, I don't think I'm able to reduce all that dense information into a nice, easily understandable format. So if anybody is interested, go ahead and check out Field's Virology 6th edition. They go into all the gory details. But the TLDR version is that there are 4 major components involved, which are EBNA1, EBNA2, LMPs, and EBERs, and they all have various functions that end up either stopping apoptosis or promote DNA replication. Depending on what is being produced, the virus could be in one of 4 latency modes: 0, 1, 2, and 3. Don't ask me how the names became what they are. I didn't come up with them. Anyway, of the latency modes that are available, 0 and 3 don't cause cancer. At least, that's what the current literature suggests. Latency 0 is when nothing except the EBERs are produced, and that is what most people infected with EBV end up with. The virus kind of just hangs out in the body after initial infection and everybody is happy. Latency 3, on the other hand, is when everything is produced. This phase usually doesn't last long because infected cells either get killed by the immune system or they shift to the other 3 latency modes. As for the remaining 2 latency modes, Latency 1 occurs only when EBNA1 and EBERs are produced, and is responsible for a nasty, fast-growing childhood face and jaw tumor called Burkitt's lymphoma. Meanwhile, Latency 2 occurs with the production of EBNA1, LMPs, and EBERs, and causes a whole host of cancers including Hodgkin's lymphoma, nasopharyngeal cancers, and stomach cancer. In particular, the stomach cancers only occur in the top portion of the stomach, and presumably due to infectious saliva sliding down and infecting said cells. Now, all that may seem really scary and absolutely delightful to learn on Valentine's Day, but don't worry, something like 90% of people living in North America are already infected with EBV, and infection is usually asymptomatic due to occurring in childhood. And most of the cancers caused by EBV are also affected by other factors such as smoking or chugging benzene, things that are already carcinogenic on their own. So I guess you can rest well knowing that infection isn't exactly a death sentence. Chances are you're already the unwitting host of the virus, so it's too late to do anything meaningful. So go off and enjoy your holiday with that fancy dinner with your significant other or something, whatever couples do these days, or drown your sorrows in a mountain of overpriced chocolate. Or if you like me, continue studying because you have an exam the very next day. Happy Valentine's Day!